Hey, hey, hey. I hope you guys enjoy these, what I'm calling podcast shorts for my Burnout to All Out community. This is just a little peek behind the curtain of the coaching that goes on inside of my programs. We're bringing to you some of the best nuggets and coaching I'm giving within hot seats of all of our different programs, whether it's our LinkedIn Method Academy, our mini mastermind business basics, all the way up to our higher level mastermind. If you're hearing some of these questions and you're like, man, I wish I could get my burning question answered by Melissa. Hey, guess what? You could be featured on my podcast. If you've got a question that you want answered and you submit it to my team and we pick it, we will bring you here to the podcast for our podcast shorts and do a hot seat with you. Where can you submit your questions? Send them to teamburnout2allout.co. We'll make sure we drop that in the show notes for our podcast shorts. And I hope that you guys find as much value in these shorts as our clients do inside the program. Need some effective tactical advice that actually helps you get results and makes a real difference in your life and business? You've come to the right place. If you're finding yourself here today, it means you're getting ready to gain serious traction in your business, rapidly multiply your income and impact, and you're ready to make it happen while living all out. Guys, I'm Melissa Hinault, your trustworthy corporate dropout turned six-figure business burnout turned happy and healthy CEO of a multi-million-dollar online business. And you're listening to the Burnout to All Out podcast. On this show, we're serving up innovative growth strategies, simple implementation methods to put them into practice, and action-stimulating inspiration tailored specifically for the modern entrepreneur. Let's dive in. All right, Todd.
All right. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate it. So my big thing is about my avatar. I'm struggling with it in a way, and that was probably one of the major reasons why I joined in a little bit, just to have a little support. And I've been a nurse for a long time, but I've done a lot of different things. I've done medical device sales. I escaped the ICU burnout and all that stuff. And I've had quite a journey. I've done sales. I've done clinical support for products and companies and things like that. And I still do a network marketing and been quite successful, but I've really gravitated around it and really done some deeper coaching in learning how to utilize an assessment that assesses people's habits of thinking and really work through the things that are holding them back. And I've started acquiring, just by having conversations with my warm market, some clients that are interested in finding out the areas that sabotage them and really working through them. And so my thing was like busy professionals that are stuck or trying to master their habits of thinking. But I started a podcast about 3 years ago, and my inspiration's driven a little bit differently. Out of nowhere, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and it was a gut punch. It taught me so much and break down the breakthrough. And I interviewed people that kind of had these gut punches and what they did, and how they got through it. I've transitioned my podcast where I still have that, but more of how people are kind of moving forward with it. But a lot of people have been sharing, like, you should really niche down instead of like business professionals or professionals, but maybe looking at the healthcare or health professionals. And I had this inspiration because I had a coaching client that really, through the COVID, really was experiencing, she worked in the ICU as a nurse practitioner, like post-traumatic stress just from dealing with it. And I'm a military guy as well. So I was like, oh my God, healthcare heroes. So I've had this inspiration around helping healthcare heroes or going on that way. So my mind's in all these directions and I'm not sure really what to dive down. I hope I gave you kind of some pieces. And if you had some inspiration or kind of like, because I feel like it'd be too narrow if I was like, I help professionals or entrepreneurs. So was that clear for you?
Yeah. So is your goal on LinkedIn to generate leads for your coaching business and for the monetization of the assessment that you've created?
Yeah, both. So there's a assessment I could do. I also do a clarity map, and we go through the assessment on what things are holding them back. And I do that as well. And then I do a one-on-one coaching, and I'm starting to do a group coaching. Tomorrow, I'm doing a webinar on a master class on how to stop secretly struggling.
Are you trying to monetize the assessment as like a passive form of income, or are you interested in, I don't know how complex the assessment is, or could the assessment actually become a lead magnet to build an email list, build an audience to get in front of, to then monetize your coaching programs?
It's more of a lead magnet, the assessment.
Okay. Now I'm clear. All right. Awesome. First of all, and you're trying to get clear on drilling down on particularly who on LinkedIn based off of your experience and what's in your tool belt, who you drill down and market to on LinkedIn. So what I have seen and experienced, especially post-COVID, is a huge burnout in the healthcare space. Huge. If you feel like you're screaming into the void when you post content on Facebook or Instagram, struggling to find a sustainable and scalable lead generation process that sticks, and you just want someone who's been there and done that to reveal their secrets, then it's critical that you register to save your spot ASAP. During this live masterclass, you'll get to steal the exact strategy I used to scale my income from $0 to 1 million in just 19 months without spending a fortune on ads or suffering from burnout. Simply check out the show notes of the podcast episode for the link to register for your free spot in the LinkedIn Lead Gen Masterclass. And don't worry, even if you miss a couple of days or you can't make it to all the training sessions, we'll deliver the replays directly into your inbox daily so you can watch them on your own time. All you have to do is make sure you sign up for the masterclass before registration ends. And so you've walked in their shoes. You've walked the walk. You've talked the talk, the pain. And so I would literally get as laser focused as going straight to nursing, going straight to where you actually came from, because there is no more credibility than someone telling their own story and how they got out of it. I mean, you guys, the large majority are here because LinkedIn worked for me. So knowing that you have a process that helped you get through is huge. I think one of the things that, and this is for all of you guys that can do, is go off platform to Google to do your research, to save your search function over on LinkedIn. And I would go research for you particularly, like Google some of the biggest healthcare systems with the lowest job satisfaction scores right now. Do a little underground research on like where things are bad. And then you can actually strategically grow your network with healthcare providers, specifically nurses in those spaces. I actually did this in scaling my first e-com business when I was in corporate America. I really leveraged that I was building a plan B because I was in a very tumultuous environment where there was massive downsizing. People were losing their jobs left and right. I was scared. And so I started building a secondary income stream, and I went online and researched the top Fortune 500s in pharmaceutical industry because that was my background, and looked for companies that were going through the same thing I was. And I strategically grew my network with pharmaceutical sales reps, medical device reps, people in the medical science liaison arena, and started having conversations with them. And it was very directed. I think that's a great place for you to start.
So what you would say is more of the nurses and burnout, go down that avenue?
I would. And here's the thing. This is like, as entrepreneurs, I know we have these big visions of, well, we can serve everyone. And so you can. I don't doubt that this assessment can't become some global tool that like literally everybody uses. But it's important that we drill down and get mass momentum in one category first. Because when we market to everyone, we actually market to no one. Once you have a proof of concept and a really great pipeline, then you can start expanding into other categories. But I highly recommend, when you're lifting something off the ground, that you go super niche to get started.
All right. So that, and then I'll build my profile. I'm like thinking about my profile and putting it there. I'm like, let me get some clarity around this before I put it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
All right. Thank you.
You're so welcome. And the last thing I'll say as we go to Robin is when you guys get to your network growth strategy, just make sure you're not like, for instance, Todd, make sure if you find nurses who are in the hospitals that you researched, don't just get excited and connect with them. Make sure that they're active on the platform first, because there's nothing worse than just growing a dead network. So you just want to look at their activity, because otherwise you're going to be like, I added all these people, but nobody's engaging. It's because they like built their resume 10 years ago and they're not on the platform. Now, I would venture to say that the people who are unhappy in their careers are actually pretty active on the platform, because they're looking for something else. But just do your research before you hit the connect button.
What about the leaders that are trying to keep their staff? That maybe that would be somebody I could reach out to too and help coach them along.
Yeah. And that's even like a bigger kind of potentially like a corporate contract, or you're working with the leader and a team. And I see that a lot.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, so much for listening in on today's podcast episode. And I can't wait for you to see my upcoming guest in the next episode. You are going to love this keynote speaker. Hey, here's the deal. If you liked this, please subscribe and leave a review. And you want the latest online business growth strategies and exclusive LinkedIn pro tips sent straight to your phone? Text the word update to 704-318-2285. That is, text the word update to 704-318-2285. Can't wait to see you guys. Come find me over on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you like to hang. Cannot wait to hear how you are enjoying and applying what you're learning. You guys reach out to me over on social, because I love hearing what's resonating with you. When you reach out to me and you send me those personal DMs, they really do impact the content I continue to bring forward to you. So again, come find me, Melissa_Hinault over on Instagram, Melissa Hinault over on LinkedIn and Facebook. Can't wait to see you guys over there.